Right, so hi everybody, John Cena here, and welcome to this fourth quarter final of FunkQuest Season 1 end of season playoffs. And you're probably noticing a couple of things straight away, like why is Nathen back in? I thought he'd been knocked out. Well, the good thing about playing with friends is that you can make your own rules up. And when we play cards at Christmas, family times, the first one to get knocked out is back in, called the Sheriff. And we had an unavoidability, which meant that Nathen was back in the game. So Nathen Aswell is the Sheriff up against number 9 seed, Rustie MacDonald. And I think you're the lowest ranked seed left in. And we have got we've got video issues with Rustie today. So it's looking at a picture.
Well, you can see I'm wearing my 9th seed WWF belt. It's gold, and I've got my war paint on, and I'm ready to play. And here comes the chairs.
Let's get on with the show, right? Listen, this is harder than it looks. So this is playoff level FunkQuest. So these guys are smart. But if you think that you are in and you're funky enough, send me a tweet at JohnCena1 and we'll discuss getting you on season 2. And if you want to join in, you think I've got a better answer to that question, then join the discussion at Love FunkQuest. So with that said, let's play. And generally speaking, the lower ranked Funkster goes first. So Nathen being the Sheriff, that must be you.
It must be me. Well, Jonathan, you know, my desire is usually to go for anything that's music related. So I'm going to go for question 1 with the gal in the spandex outfit next to her little
lady. Yeah.
boombox.
If you had this before, what film can you watch over and over again?
Easy answer. Every year I absolutely have to watch It's a Wonderful Life. I've lost track of how many times I've seen that movie. It continues to inspire me. I cry like a baby every single time I watch it.
Really?
Yes, sir.
Give us a 20-second synopsis.
It's a powerful movie about a man who is given the gift of experiencing what it would be like if everyone in his life, if he'd never been born, and the impact that he's made on everybody around him. And perhaps this is the best answer I can give you. I've done a lot of work with men, and I was leading a men's support group at one point, and I said, okay, we're going to watch this movie, and here's the catch though. Every time anybody has any feelings about anything in the movie, I want you to just say stop, and we'll pair up, and each person will find someone to have a chance to express their feelings, their emotions with. And it took us 4 hours to get through the movie. There are just so many wonderful moments in that movie. At the very end, you know, one of the lines that is said to him is to George Bailey, which is Jimmy Stewart's character, the richest man in town. He really comes to discover that his life is very rich because of his friendships. It's powerful.
We need to go watch
spectacular. Yes, you do. I would highly recommend it.
Highly recommend it. Right, well, let's go watch. And I should say also that if you're listening to this and you're thinking, what on earth's going on here, get a pen or a piece of paper, or preferably both, and because in about 10 minutes time you can vote for which one of these Funksters is going through to the semi-finals. Rustie, you get a little bit more time to make that fair.
I absolutely am a huge diehard fan for the Book of Eli. Each and every time I watch it, I gain new inspiration, new insight, and new motivation to continue the work that I do and to stay focused. It's a beautiful post-apocalypse spiritual journey, amazing story that I think if you look at it for its value and its metaphor, it's riveting.
The Book of Eli.
Book of Eli, yeah.
I must admit that I've never heard of that.
Well, it's a biblical, the Book of Eli is part of the Bible.
Yeah,
so there's that. Denzel Washington, I believe, is Eli in the story, and it's post-apocalypse world. So everybody's, you know, partially fried from atomic bombs, and they're trying to rob and kill each other, and the bad guy in the Wild West. And it's really cool because, it gives you the action, it gives you the storyline, it gives you the romance that kind of covers all bases. There's a bad guy in the Wild West who wants every single book because he is the only person left in the entire earth that can read, at least in his mind.
Really?
So I can't tell you anymore because that would be spoiler alert, but highly, highly, highly recommended. And again, you can watch it 15, 20 times and still each time get something out of it. And I do cry like a girl. I get ugly cry at the end. And I think I've watched it 30 times. And I still ugly cry.
Well done. Well, that's the whole point, you see, of the show. Again, if you're new to this, we'll have to thought-provoking interactions, which is something that I didn't know 5 minutes ago that I do know now by talking to somebody different out of my usual network. Whose turn is it to go first? Rustie, question 2.
Question 2. Yeah, let's go the tapes, because I still, believe it or not, have all of my cassette tapes with the little stickers on.
I just got rid of a whole bunch of mine.
If you could go back in time 200 years, what would you teach people? Rusty could go back in...
I think I would still be who I am. I think I would still be that person who wants to open up the mind and have these really incredible conversations about healing and problem solving. You know, I don't think that we do enough solution-based thinking.
We absolutely do know, because we're frightened of having scary conversations like we are having now. Nathan, you get the same question, which is the cassette tape. If you could go back in time.
Well, I along similar lines of what Rusty just said, you know, I walked, as you know, Jonathan, I walked the Camino for the first time last September, and there's a very powerful man in my life, a friend of mine from Montreal, who planted a seed in me in my 20s about being out in nature. And I'm thinking about it as I look at this picture that you have of the woman in the... what you can't see, Rusty, is a picture of a woman in a kayak.
Yep, I can see it.
I'm very excited about putting people in an environment where they can have the ahas themselves. And that's exactly what the gift was to me in my 20s. So I'm getting excited about taking people perhaps on the Camino and just not teaching them anything, but having them in an environment where the insights come to them, where, you know, in that environment, they get to see things more clearly than they would normally. And not that we have to be on the Camino to have insights, but just that kind of experience just pulls you out of your day-to-day so you see things more clearly.
You have to be in some kind of different environment, because otherwise you're just in the same old treadmill.
Well, initially, and I think the goal, of course, is to be able to have those insights wherever you are.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm excited in a similar way to what Rusty is saying, I guess, but just I like the idea of just having people have the insights on their own and just smiling with them as they have those moments, but just creating an environment where that can happen.
Good answer. It's a good answer. See, I told you, listeners, it's playoff level FunkQuest. Question 3, Nathan to go first.
Let's go with the cool running shoe.
The running shoe. What was your best ever Christmas present as a child? Or if you could get any Christmas present now, what Christmas present would you?
Yeah, I was going to, because the first thing that came to mind was me getting a gun, some kind of machine gun.
Oh, God.
7, and I'm thinking, God, that's like the furthest thing from what I would possibly want now. Because I'm not into possessions. I'm into getting rid of things. So what would I get? What would be the best Christmas present ever? Physical possessions is not something. Well, okay. I'm going to go for Brooke. An electric car.
Electric car. Good answer.
Yeah, I want to have an electric car. I want to move to that as quickly as I possibly can.
Good answer. Rusty, what was it? Running shoe. Rusty, what was your best ever Christmas present as a child?
All right, so we're talking past tense. Now, the narrative, if anybody who's listening or watching would know, I didn't have stuff like that because we were, by definition, dirt poor. And the one Christmas that I remember, the UPS people donated a whole bunch of stuff, and I got a Papa Smurf and a Mrs. Smurf.
Nice.
And I think I was like 6 or 7, and I still had those until about 5 years ago. And I'm older than dirt.
We're going to ask Nathan now if he can sing the Smurf song.
No, I'm sorry to say I don't. I can't remember it.
La 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 la.
Jonathan, you kind of look like what's his face on the Smurfs, Gargamel.
That's the song, isn't it? I mean, I heard that years ago. Well, not years ago. It came back. It was on an advert. I don't know. And you just thought it's like your childhood being.
Yep.
Yeah. Excellent. Smurfs have never come up before. No, they haven't. Next question. Rusty to go first. Question 4.
All right. What are we doing here, kids? I am so having fun. And it's even more cool because I'm incognito.
Yeah, you can do it.
You can't even think about all the faces I'm making right now. Enough. I think I want, are they at a concert? Because I totally groove on concerts. I'm down with that.
Playing guitar.
Yeah, let's rock that out. Bring it. Little Tiesto.
What would you do to get people to eat more sprouts?
I love sprouts, man. Sprouts, avocado, and like a Havarti cheese, or maybe I don't know, something sharp.
You're the Director General of the Worldwide Sprout Marketing Council. And this is your first day on the job.
I would look good as a sprout, actually. I would be like that marketing person that would show up looking like a sprout. I'd be like, yo, sprouts, you can eat them, you can smoke them, you can wear them. This is fantastic.
Smoking sprouts.
Smoking sprouts, man.
You just roll them up like cheroot type of thing.
Hey, you know, we can get creative. We can even get this little, what are the kids doing now? The vaping. We can vape sprouts. Sprout flavored marijuana.
You've got the job. You've got the job. Nathan's got it. I'm going to give him a second to compose himself now because
Nathan, you've got no chance, man.
He's finished.
I mean,
Ding, 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 ding. I win.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, what came to mind when I saw this was my mother, God bless her, when we were young, you know, this is in the 60s, to make sure that we were getting enough iron in our diet, she would sneak in liver in everything. And we hated liver, of course. And, you know, I remember it was kind of a game between my siblings and I. Found the liver. Oh my God, she put liver in this hamburger or whatever. Right? So that just came to mind. So the only thing that came to mind when I looked at this question was whatever I would do, I would be honest with people about it. I wouldn't sneak it into their food.
Yeah.
You know, I would very very calmly and very zen-like tell them about what a wonderful thing it is to eat sprouts and, you know, give proof about that or whatever. Don't take my word for it. Try it yourself.
Try it yourself. Yeah.
But I'd be honest.
That's the whole point. Be honest, because otherwise, people these days are frightened of being conned, right? So you dip them in chocolate, and this is good for you. Well, no, it isn't because it's sprouts. Right. Next question. Where did it go first? Nathan, question 5.
But you know what? For some reason I'm being drawn to the fellow in the bucket.
The guy peddling.
Me too. I was thinking I'm going up Schitt's Creek.
What's the best thing about living where you live?
Well. Gee, that's an easy question. I live in the absolute most beautiful place in the world. If you can deal with rain, that's the one issue. But yeah, it's absolutely spectacular. I'm originally from Montreal. I've been living in Vancouver for the last 27 years. And I remember a friend of mine saying, it can and it does rain for 30 days in a row. And I've experienced that. But she said on the 31st day, the sun will come out and it's so spectacularly beautiful that you forget. And I remember the first time that happened to me, I went, oh my God, she was absolutely right. It's absolutely stunning here. It just is. It's absolutely breathtaking. So the best thing is it's lush, it's green, it's close to the ocean, mountains everywhere. You know, the environment is just front of mind everywhere you go because you just can't avoid it everywhere you look. It's just spectacular. Mountains and ocean. And
good answer. Yeah. Good answer. Rusty, you get the same question, which was the bucket person.
Well, I definitely have to say that I've won this round. Unfortunately, Nathan, I live in the most beautiful place in the world. I actually live in the tropics. And what's really cool is that I live in the middle of Jurassic Park. You can't beat that.
Really?
With all your rain. I do. I have more reptiles, snakes, panthers, weird ass birds. I can't even tell you what the trees do. I think the trees eat the birds. I don't know. It's bizarre, but I do live in Jurassic Park. I live in southern Florida. But I live on the Gulf Coast, so when you look at the ocean, it is almost like being in the Bahamas or on St. Thomas, where it's just this amazing emerald green water that's clear, so translucent, and the dolphins, they are incredible to watch.
And so we're there.
Yeah, beautiful. Yeah, I love it.
I'm calling it your shop on the way there and finish off at Nathan's. But that's it. So, who won? Well, I don't know. I mean, you've got to work that out for yourself. The answer is in your hands. Which one of these people is going to go through to the semi-final? Is it Sheriff Nathan or is it number 9 seed Rusty? If you want to vote for Nathan, you've got to send an email to Nathan, note the spelling, at FunkyThinkers.com. And if you want to vote for Rusty, send an email to Rusty at FunkyThinkers.com and you will get an acknowledgement of your vote. Nathan, how can we contact you and find out more about you?
My website is nathenaswell.com, Nathenaswell.
Fantastic. Rusty, how can we contact you?
Rustie at rustie.info. And that's RUSTIE at RUSTIE.info. Very easy.
Rustie.info. Guys, thanks so much for being on the show. It's very, very good fun, as always. And we'll speak to one of you in the semi-final.
All right. Thank you, Jonathan. This is always a hoot.
Had fun. Thank you. Nice to meet you, Nathan.
Hi, thanks so much for making it to the end of this episode. If you've enjoyed it, please share it with your friends. I have a few people you might want to share it with. Your partner, your parents, your grandma and granddad, your neighbours, your hairdresser, your tea lady, your gym instructor, your swimming coach, postman, the bin man, your cat, your dog, Father Christmas, Mr. Trump, Mr. Putin, Cristiano Ronaldo.